One of my favorite parts about camping is hanging a hammock and just relaxing. I am going to show you one of many different ways to hang a hammock, but over the years this is what I have found I like the most, and it only takes a few things. First, you're going to need 2 trees. I happen to have 2 trees at the edge of my beautiful campsite for the next couple of weeks. There's a couple different kinds of hammocks. I have a brand new linen hammock that I have just recently tried and I love it. The linen hammocks are a lot more comfortable. They're softer, they're thicker, they're a little bit wider. They're very pretty. Mine has tassels and it's very girly and elegant and I love it. I like to use tree stops. Depending on your campground location, they might have some requirements as far as how thick the tree stops need to be to protect the trees and the bark. These ones are 1 inch. That's okay for most places. The forest that I'm in, they do prefer 2-inch straps, but I was told that a 1 inch will most of the time be okay. I like straps like this. These ones have a 500-pound weight limit, so it can hold multiple people if you have a multiple person hammock. With the slots, they have a sewn top and bottom so that you can attach a carabiner in here and connect this to your hammock really easily, and if you need to make it a little tighter or a little looser, you can just move it to the next slot. And then if you're going to do that, you'll need some carabiners. These are really wide because my hammock end is really wide, and you don't need them. These are rated for climbing, so they are very sturdy, very thick. They're not going to break, and they're relatively expensive for what a carabiner is, but these are the only ones that I could find that had a mouth that was wide enough to slip it around the ring of my hammock to hang. So if you have a hammock that has a pre-made hole on the end, which is really easy to hang them up, you might need to invest in some carabiners. If your straps are too skinny for the location where you are hanging, or if all you have is paracord and not straps, you are going to want, well, the forest is sticking to it, you're going to want some tree protector straps. I just got these and it was my first time because I did try to hang with paracord, and the nicest ranger came over and politely informed me that I need some tree straps or something thicker. So I overnighted these, and these are great. I ordered 2 sets so that I can hang both my hammock and a rainfly. The rainfly will be covered in another video, but these ones are great. They're very thick, they're very wide, and they have Velcro, and they also have, if I can do this with one hand, they also have sewn in slots around them so that as you wrap it around the tree, you have some slots to stick your paracord or your hanging rope or whatever you need through it so that it stays around the tree. If you're trying to hang from a really fat tree and you can't get your arms all the way around it, these are great because you can slip one end of the rope through and let it rest and then walk around the tree, and then grab your rope and slip it through the other end, and then you can gradually make your way around the tree. I've had to hang from really fat trees multiple times and it is a struggle. I'm not sure. Okay. I definitely cannot get my arms around it, so that poses a problem in trying to hang a hammock this tree is super fat. And you end up with bark all down your body, bark in your hair. Whatever bugs or caterpillars are on the tree, they end up on your clothes, and your clothes will snag in the bark. So it's a whole big thing. This eliminates all of that and makes it really easy. When you pick your trees, ideally, and depending on the length of your hammock, you're gonna want about 6 feet in between your trees. I have small legs and a short distance between each step. But if you take a normal step, for most people, it's going to be, you're looking for about 6 steps from tree to tree. So I have picked this location, and I'm just going to check it to make sure that the trees aren't going to be too far apart, that I'm not going to be able to hang my hammock. So I'm just going to take 6 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it's 7, it's probably fine. If it's 5, it's probably fine. Your hammock just might hang a little differently than what you're used to. Then, just to be extra safe before we start putting things on the tree, I'm going to lay my hammock out on the ground, and I'm going to spread it out between the trees about where I'd like it to hang, and just make sure that I think it's going to hang with the right amount of slack on each side. So my hammock is white, and I do like to put some kind of a rug down, an outer rug, before I just drop my hammock on the ground. But I'm losing light quickly, and for the sake of this, I'm putting my white hammock right on the ground. Be careful if there's ant piles under your hammock, because you don't want ants all over you. Okay, so my hammock is spread out between my 2 trees, and it looks like I've got just a good amount of hanging slack space for my hammock straps. So I'm going to go ahead and use the straps without the tree protector and show you, because I know most people will not have the tree protectors. So I'm going to grab my carabiners and both my straps. There are several ways to get the strap around the tree. This is the way that I like best, and your straps might come with instructions and they might be a little bit different, but my strap has 2 different ends. Both of the ends have this loop, but only one side will be smooth with no individual partitions with the sewing. So this end that is just plain is going to wrap around the tree, because we're not going to connect our hammock until it has wrapped at least one time around the tree. Okay, I'm going to take my strap, and I'm going to try to do this with one hand. I'm going to take it around the tree almost as if you're doing a necktie. Okay, hold on. Okay. And then raise it to the height you would like. Once it goes around the tree, depending on how fat the tree is, you should start to see that the slots are now towards the front of the tree. If your tree is really fat, you might have a couple of slots that have gone across, but you want at least one slot in the front, and now you know that you're going to be able to get your carabiner into there. From here, I'm going to take the long end, and I'm just going to tuck it into the top of the loop so that it will be able to hold the weight without falling. Okay, you can give this a little pull. Make sure that it is nice and tight. This is not going to go anywhere. We're going to do that on the other tree. And then all we have to do is clip our hammock in. This tree is a little fatter, so it's a little bit more difficult. All right, give that a pull. And they're really easy to slide up and down if you decide that your hammock is a little bit too high or a little bit too low. I like my hammock to be just high enough to where when I sit on the middle, both of my feet touch the ground so that I can get on and off easily and so that I can rock myself. And I have to be able to touch the ground to be able to do that. Okay, we're gonna take our carabiner and hook one into each end of the hammock. And now we have all of these slots to choose from in selecting where we would like to clip our hammock in. So at first I like to just kind of pick a spot and once I get both sides hung, because it is really easy to just unclip it and do it again, I will clip it and then see about how high the hammock hangs. I'm gonna do this to both sides if this fits correctly. And I'm gonna count the slots. On this side, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am in the 7th slot. And on this side, I am on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not even at all. So I'm going to take this one a bit lower. Okay, I got it hung, so I'm going to check the height and I'm just going to sit on it and see what happens. Okay, my hammock is way too low, so I'm going to take the straps down lower onto the tree and then clip up higher on the strap to raise the hammock a little bit. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm all twisted. Okay, I'm 6 down on that side, so I'm gonna do the same to the other side and then test it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you don't want this extra strap just hanging down and dangling possibly on the ground, you can reach it up, and if you don't have another carabiner, you can just tuck it in between one of the slots and just pull it through. Okay, I think this is a good height, so I'm going to try it out. And if you're wondering, yes, I do camp in a dress. I do almost everything in a dress. Okay. This is perfect. Hammock hang successful.